Do you ever sit in a lecture and think,
So what does this actually mean in practice?
this is So What? Social Work.
With Abigail,
And Josh,
with over 50 years of combined experience within the social care sector.
we are lifting the lid on adult social work in practice.
And you might be thinking,
So what?
what?
These are our personal views and opinions.
All case examples are fictitious or have been sourced from the public domain.
We are not representing any organisation or public body. Hello, welcome to the next episode of So What Social Work with us.
With us together, we've made it
Woohoo!
for a third week.
I can't believe it. How are we still talking?
We haven't been on holiday,
Not
that's
quite
why.
easily, honestly. We don't shut up.
No, well, everyone understands that.
Oh, dear.
So the topic this week is National Occupational Standards.
Oh, a.k.a. NOS.
NOS. NOS.
NOS, whatever you want to call them.
We're going to do NOS 1 and 2 this week, though, aren't we?
We are indeed. We're going to do a deep delve
We are.
into NOS 1 and 2. But before we prattle on about NOSes, I think we need to do a little check-in ourselves, don't we?
We absolutely do.
What are you most proud of this week, Josh? Anything good happening in your life? In the work
I
life?
love this part of our
I know, it's
weekly
good.
catch-ups.
Feel good factor.
Yeah, absolute feel-good factor.
Love it.
Most proud this week. I did support a direct observation. I delivered a direct observation with a student.
I'm not really sure.
Oversaw.
Yeah.
Was the observer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I found that really, really insightful. It was on very much a statutory piece of work, a mental capacity assessment.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that at a later podcast in
Oh,
more
yeah.
detail. It's quite a big
Woo,
topic.
that's
so
heavy.
Do not worry if you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. And having the opportunity to kind of be involved in the case was really, really powerful and useful for me.
Okay.
It was very relational. I know I love that word. It's a buzzword at the moment. That gave me the opportunity to practice my skills a little bit as well as the students.
Good.
And I reflected that that's important, that as the educator and the observer, that I was also very much responsible in this piece of work.
Okay.
And I got a lot out of that, and it helped me just keep my skills fine-tuned.
Oh.
And I learnt from the student, and the student learned from me. So that's what I'm most proud of
That's
in that week.
lovely. That's really wholesome.
It is. It really felt heartwarming.
That's nice. I bet the student got a lot out of that as well.
Yeah, and we both did, and I think that's what we were very reflective about afterwards, was that I learnt a lot from their approach, they learnt a lot from my approach. We kind of got a very holistic approach altogether then. The person had a very good experience.
And the person was at the core of it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
empowered. So, yeah, I'm really chuffed at that.
Oh, nice. Well
What about
done.
you?
Go you.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
What are you most proud of?
Well, funnily enough, it's to do with a student that's on placement at the moment, and she was challenging the system. Yeah.
I absolutely love
I was all over it.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her. She's like fearless.
Yeah.
And she's so conscientious in the work that she does, and she evidences everything. And through that, and using kind of thinking about the person, their strengths, where they're at right now. They've come a long way since, they've, in their life, in their journey then.
Yeah.
And I think she's managed to challenge the system to improve this person's well-being and life.
Brilliant.
And I'm really, really proud of her. And for that, it gives you a warm feeling inside, doesn't it?
It does, and I think you should be proud as well that you've created a space where you've enabled that in the student to encourage that and support it in a healthy way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's lovely.
I know, we've had a good week.
We have. Let's hope we get a good one next week.
Fingers crossed. We'll have nothing to talk about otherwise.
No. But let's get back to the task at hand this week and talk about the NOS.
Absolutely. So I do believe, to kick-start this episode, we have a question.
We do. From an anonymous student.
Hi, my question is, as a first-year social work student, why do you think National Occupational Standards are important in shaping future social workers? Thank you.
Very good question.
Yeah.
Quite a loaded question as well, actually. Why the National Occupational Standards are important for social workers and developing social
Yeah,
workers.
and for the future.
I mean, there are 20 of them.
There's a lot of them.
How many P's and K's do we know?
There's a lot. There's a whole lot of P's and K's.
There's an awful lot.
Go onto the Social Care Wales website and
have a look for
you'll
yourself.
find them all. Treat yourself this afternoon
It might help you some bedtime reading.
to go to sleep. But they are very important.
They are very, very important.
Extremely. And they support with the learning and development ultimately, because you have to hit them.
You do.
And you have to evidence them through direct observations, through reflective written practice,
Yeah.
through weekly supervision.
Yeah.
So they are really important.
They are.
And we're going to start with the two basic ones, aren't we?
Yeah, so to ease you in, and I think they are used in level 1 and level 2 and level 3, the ones we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Because level 1, from my experience, is they only give you a few of the NOS to focus on,
Okay.
not all 20. From when that's when
Oh, right,
for me,
okay.
you
I
know,
can't even remember.
I've only known because I've had to support a couple of students level 1, and there's only been I don't want to guess it, but there's only been a few National Occupational Standards to focus on, not all of them. So, should we start with National Occupational Standard NOS 1?
I think that would be a good place to start, Josh, yes.
Maintain an up-to-date knowledge and evidence base for social work practice.
Ooh.
Ooh. That one, I think sometimes people can get a bit hung up on.
Right, okay. In what way then?
Well, I think people can almost overcomplicate that. Some people can see it's very easy, and it's a very easy one to meet many, many times.
Yeah.
Because you are talking about maintaining a knowledge and evidence base. Well, everything you're doing as a student is...
It's all learning, isn't it?
It's all
ultimately,
learning.
Which is all the evidence base for you becoming a social worker, isn't it?
Yeah. And how you're using perhaps research, case law, case examples, legislation. You're learning to help your social work practice develop.
Absolutely.
And that is the best way to probably describe how you would evidence NOS 1, I think, is just bring in your learning into your supervisions, into your
definitely.
Written reflective commentaries, records of practice, whichever your university calls those areas of your development.
Yeah.
Reflective logs, I've heard before once. Reflective logs. Yeah.
Big log.
Big reflective log.
Sounds great.
Sidebar. And I think that one, the main take home for me is when you're going to lectures or you're learning about a topic in your degree, you're reading about a theory. It's how you're bringing that to your supervision, your reflective commentaries, your direct observation, how you're linking those things.
Yeah, to evidence your learning, isn't it?
Yeah. And that becomes your evidence base.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really quite simple when you're thinking about practice learning opportunity and NOS 1, because as long as you're attending supervision, you're making the most of your learning opportunity, you are going to naturally be thinking about the legislation, whether that's in Wales, UK, national, international, there's so much, isn't there?
Absolutely. And you could go even further and say local context, so 100%. Policies, procedures in the area you're working in, what governs the area you're working in. All of these things are all about maintaining your evidence base and your knowledge for social work practice. Yeah,
and when we think about the question, how does that kind of form the future social worker? Well, it's key to what you're working under, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we all know that legislation evolves quite rapidly in some cases, and policies and procedures and things like that. So it's really important, whether you're a student or not, actually, if you're in practice, you need to be making sure that you're up to date, you're current.
Yeah.
Maybe listening to social work podcasts, actually.
Plug. Like So What Social Work?
Oh, yeah.
Because you can reference this podcast. You can reference these things in your
How cool would that
assignments.
be?
I mean, I have imposter syndrome at the idea of it, Abigail.
Well, I love it.
So do I. Okay. NOS 2. Let's think about NOS 2, which is develop social work practice through supervision and reflection.
So, as a student, you are expected to have supervision weekly whilst on placement. And I know that sounds hardcore. And it can be, actually, particularly when you're busy, you've got assignments to be writing, you might be doing 2 modules at the same time, you're learning about this new team, and then you've got to do a weekly supervision, which has to be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Now, I think we've got a question, actually, don't we, that's linked
That will
to...
tie in quite well, I think, while we're exploring NOS
Yeah.
2. Yeah, I will play that question for us.
Whip it out, Josh.
Hi, Josh and Abs. My question is, what does supervision look like as a student, and how should you make the most of them?
What a poignant question for NOS 2.
Well, it's perfectly timed.
Thank you very much for your question.
Yes, another anonymous student.
Yeah. So making the most out of them is, I think there should be a structure. And I think when we talk about beginning supervision, so you're there, you've arrived, it might be just you and the practice educator, it might be just you and the supervisor. And if you have both of those during placement, you should be having 3 of those as well, a 3-way as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right? So it's exciting.
You alternate around between
And
the
I
3,
think
yeah.
a key point to start with supervision is, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Wellbeing check-in.
Yeah, totally. And you need to start with how the student is doing. How are you doing? The well-being check-in.
Yeah.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? And also, not only about your placement, but I think I think your personal life needs to be brought into it as well, because this has a huge impact on your life in general.
Yeah.
You've got potentially 2 modules. You've got your practice learning opportunity. You have got direct observations where you're observed. You've got reflective practices that you need to be thinking about. You've got your caseload. And then on top of that, you might have kids. You know, you might have...
What a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Well, you might have 2 jobs.
You might have a social life. You might have a partner. You might have pets. Like there's all sorts sorts on.
Caring responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say
Oh,
that.
sorry.
I know.
finished your
that's all good.
sentence.
I loved it.
We're spending too much time together.
Okay. But yeah, in other words, there's a lot going on in people's lives. So I think it's really important to take that time to genuinely find out how they're doing.
Yeah.
And if needed, is there a way that the educator can support you during that time?
And what's I suppose that important thing is recognising the role and the power that you say.
Yeah.
The practice educator, your practice educator as a student or supervisor needs to know if there's things going on that's going to impact your practice, your work, your development, because they're not going to help you get to where you need to be or where you want to be or learning if there is an issue they don't know about that's impacting you.
Yeah, totally. And then in the placement kind of side of it is, what are you proud of this week?
Yeah.
Have you achieved anything? Did you find, you went on a visit and you reflected and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. I had no idea that I thought like that. But that's a really proud moment.
Yeah.
That you can verbally reflect on what happened and maybe, personal judgment.
Yeah.
What you've perceived to be that way, actually it wasn't that way at all. And I've learned from that, and I won't be doing that going forward. So I think that's really important when you're thinking about a proud moment in
supervision
in your week.
And it's important to note that that's not always in the supervision agenda as a student.
No, it's not.
And to answer that student's question, I think there is a set agenda from a lot of the universities they expect to see in supervision. There is some creative freedom with that, I think, for most practice educators and universities.
Definitely.
But there are certain things that are expected, such your case discussions, your NOS, your code of professional practice references, your legislation, your practising in Wales, use of theories. I could go on.
Yeah.
For a long time.
You could.
You haven't got to put all of those things in every single week's supervision.
That's really important.
Vital information that people get. If you've got an agenda of supervision as 10 items every week for an hour and a half.
That's heavy.
And you think you've got to hit all of those things every single week, it becomes very tokenistic.
It's quite stressful as well to try and think of that. So sometimes it's really good just to focus on one case.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to stress that student supervision is not a bog standard supervision. You do not go through all of your cases just kind of brushing over them all. You can do a deep delve into one case and look at the legislation, the anti-oppressive practice, discriminatory practice, Welsh context, like the legislation that underpins it. Theory. Like it's really important for students to know that it's not just a caseload.
No. And I think certainly for me, and I think a lot of universities like this, is you are checking in on the portfolio progress, checking on where the student is in their journey as their learning and development, not just, we talk about well-being, check in about their well-being and their personal life, but also where are you from your practice learning agreement that we set up and we said we would get to, and where are we going? Are we on track? Are you on track? Do you feel on track? So, and if a student's not being given that opportunity by a practice educator, and it's in your agenda or your practice learning agreement, you're quite within your rights to ask those questions. Yeah. Because your practice learning agreement, which you talked about in an earlier episode, is almost the contract that you signed up. It sets the tone.
It stipulates the expectations of the practice educator, the supervisor, and the student. And sometimes it is needed to bring it back and say, well, actually, this is what we wrote about in our first meetings. So we need to be accountable to these things.
And how we reflect, I think, in supervision.
In fact, there is actually a supervision agreement.
There actually is. You're absolutely right. And that is for everyone, student, newly qualified, social worker. There should be a practice learning agreement for everybody, where you're signing up to a certain level of standards and expectations as a supervisee and a supervisor.
That's supervision agreement.
What did I call it?
Practice learning agreement.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it's supervision agreement.
We're getting confused.
Yeah, so supervision agreement, yes. But supervision agreement is there for that reason. Yeah. And what's the content of that is to be signed up to by the supervisee and the supervisor. Yes. In any context, like I said. So not just the students. I think using reflection and thinking reflectively for NOS 2 and to answer the question we've had, it's not, like you said, supervision is not just to go through the cases, it's a deep dive, it's to really, really reflect on a piece of work and your experience over the last week as a student.
Yeah, exactly that.
And we try and use strengths-based to support us with that.
We do indeed. What is strengths-based?
Well, a strengths focus then. So when we're trying to look at what's gone well, particularly rather than what's not gone so well, what's been particularly strong, what's not what's wrong.
Oh, beautiful.
Very deep. I can't say I own that phrase, I don't.
That is lovely.
But it's just thinking about what's worked well for you.
What's working well, yeah.
Yeah, and ultimately we're thinking about moving forwards, you can reflect whilst looking forward, not just reflect and look back, and you don't want to almost hold on a dwelling of what went maybe not so right or what went wrong or what concerned you. It's how you pull out the strengths from that and move forward
and the
with
learning,
it. And the learning.
The learning from that. But we will talk about strengths-based in a future episode because it's essential, I think, to social work, actually.
Several episodes, I imagine.
I have no doubt about it. We're big advocates for strengths-based. Product owner right here.
That's me.
Josh?
One of.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So what?
Well, I think we've learned that supervision is super essential for the learning and development of students. And I think the key aspects for students is well-being. Yeah. What you're proud of. What is working well for you? Yeah. What have you learnt over the past week? I think you need to bring in, these are just elements, cases. You can focus in on one, you can focus in on a few. It doesn't have to be every case you're working on at that time. Yeah. The legislation underpinning the work you're doing. If you're in Wales, the Welsh context, as in working in Wales, is it different legislation? Do you live in a rural area that might, the Welsh active offer? Welsh language.
We will talk about Welsh context
in
probably several episodes, including those active offer, different wordings. Do not worry about that, students. We will talk several episodes about that, I would imagine.
There's so much.
There's so much to talk about.
There's anti-oppressive practice and anti-discriminatory practice. That's really important to focus on during supervision. Am I missing?
We'll also focus on those probably in another episode.
And of course, the NOS. So there are 20 National Occupational Standards, but also, which we haven't focused on particularly, is the Code of Professional Practice as well.
Yeah.
Now, all of these elements need to be part of that supervision, and that is what underpins really your experience in your practice learning opportunity, but also your learning and how you develop. And that evidence is then in your portfolio and for you as a practitioner, where you're going, what you're learning.
Yeah.
That's good.
So what about NOS 1?
Yes.
I think generally, like we've said, you're using anything that comes to you as research, learning, anything as part of your practice.
Even if
to
you think
develop.
it's trivial, it's still learning.
It's still learning.
Yeah.
The human experience is the human experience.
Oh, yeah.
Deep.
Beautiful.
And everything you will learn or bring in your life will be probably relevant to your social work journey and practice.
I have no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And I know that will definitely be discussed in future episodes as well. Because what you face in life definitely impacts on your thinking and judgment and the way your values.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll look forward to that next.
In
future.
In the future episodes.
So yeah, I hope today that we've covered a little bit. The NOSes have been uncovered.
Well, 2 out of 20. We'll get
we're
to
getting
others.
there.
We're
getting there.
And some of them we might need to focus on just one at a time. Some of the P's, some of them are a bit more complex and comprehensive for us to focus on. So we will do that. We will get there.
But I can guarantee you, if you're in a placement and you're fully committed and you're having regular supervision, you will hit NOS 1 and 2 every week without fail.
Quite easily.
So rest assured, you've got this.
You'll be fine.
So yeah.
Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you.
I think join us next time when we're going to talk about exploring the practice educator experience, our experience, overseeing placements for students.
Yeah. And the expectations, I think, for practice educators, it's not all on the students.
No.
The practice educator role is essential to supporting and developing students.
And you'll remember we talked a little bit about this in an earlier episode, and we will continue that conversation next time.
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Thank you so much for listening. If you found this useful, or if you know someone who might find this useful, please share.
If you have any questions or feedback, get in touch via email, sowhatsocialwork@gmail.com.
Be sure to follow us on social media, search So What Social Work with Abigail and Josh. Put a rock in that diary to catch us next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.